Hello, people. Welcome to Bible in a Year. Um, we are on day numero 127. We'll be reading 1 Samuel 18 and 19, Acts chapter 19, verses 21 through 40, and Psalm 54. So, First Samuel, not Second Samuel, 18, capítulo 18. All right.
What?
What?
What was I doing?
Sound like you were gasping for air. All right. First Samuel or 1 Samuel 18 and 19. Saul resents David. Uh-oh. There's some animosity there. Now, when he had finished speaking to Saul, the soul of Jonathan was knit to the soul of David, and Jonathan loved him as his own soul. Saul took him that day and would not let him go home to his father's house anymore. Then Jonathan and David made a covenant because he loved him as his own soul. And Jonathan took off the robe that was on him and gave it to David with his armor, even to his sword and his bow and his belt. So David went out wherever Saul sent him and behaved wisely. And Saul set him over the men of war. And he was accepted in the sight of all the people and also in the sight of Saul's servants. Now it had happened as they were coming home when David was returning from the slaughter of the Philistine, that the women had come out of all the cities of Israel, singing and dancing to meet King Saul with tambourines, with joy, and with musical instruments. So the women sang as they danced and said, Saul has slain his thousands and David his 10,000s. Uh-oh. I think Saul's going to be mad about that.
Mad about?
Saul has slain his thousands and David his 10,000s. So David has done 10 times better than Saul? Is that what they're saying? Saul has slain thousands. David has slain 10,000s. Uh-oh.
Jelly.
Yes, Saul's going to be a little piced. Then Saul was very angry. I knew it.
Oh my gosh.
And
Called it.
the saying displeased him. And he said, they have ascribed David 10,000, and to me they have ascribed only thousands. Now what more can he have but the kingdom? So Saul eyed David from that day forward. And it happened on the next day that the distressing spirit from God came upon Saul, and he prophesied inside the house. So David played music with his hand as at other times, but there was a spear in Saul's hand. And Saul cast the spear, for he said, I will pin David to the wall. But David escaped his presence twice. Now Saul was afraid of David because the Lord was with him, but had departed from Saul. Therefore Saul removed him from his presence and made him his captain over 1,000. And he went out and came in before the people. And David behaved wisely in all his ways, and the Lord was with him. Therefore, when Saul saw that he behaved very badly, he was afraid of him. But all Israel and Judah loved David because he went out and came in before them. David marries Michal. I don't know what it is. David marries Michal. Then Saul said to David, here is my older daughter, Merab. I will give her to you as wife. What? I thought it said he marries Michal. Merab? Only be valiant for me and fight the Lord's battles. For Saul thought, let my hand not be against him, but let the hand of the Philistines be against him. So David said to Saul, who am I, and what is my life or my father's family in Israel, that I should be son-in-law to the king? But it happened at the time when Merab, Saul's daughter, should have been given to David, that she was given to Adriel, the Mecholathite, as a wife. Now, Michal, Saul's, well,
That's a weird name.
Michal.
Whoever is named Michal, I'm so sorry. Sounds weird to me.
Sounds like somebody saying, my child. That's my child.
That's my child.
That's my child.
That's my child.
It's my child. Pendejo. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
You're the one who said it.
Michal.
I'm tired.
Now Michael, Saul's daughter, loved David, and they told Saul, and the thing pleased him. So Saul said, I will give her to him, that she may be a snare to him, and that the hand of the Philistines may be against him. Therefore Saul said to David a second time, you shall be my son-in-law today. And Saul commanded his servants, communicate with David secretly and say, look, the king has delight in you, and all his servants love you. Now therefore become the king's son-in-law. So Saul's servant spoke those words in the hearing of David, and David said, does it seem to you a light thing to be a king's son-in-law? Seeing I am a poor and lightly esteemed man. And the servants of Saul told him, saying, in this manner David spoke. Then Saul said, thus you shall say to David, the king does not desire any dowry, but 100 foreskins of the Philistines, to take vengeance on the king's enemies. But Saul thought to make David fall by the hand of the Philistines. So when his servants told David these things, it pleased David well to become the king's son-in-law. Now the days had not expired. Therefore David arose and went, he and his men, and killed 200 men of the Philistines. And David brought their foreskins. Oh my God.
Oh,
Brought
dang.
their foreskins. Brought their foreskins. You know what foreskins are? It's on the tip of their.
Oh my gosh, I keep forgetting. I keep forgetting. Okay, I'm sorry.
And they gave them in full count to the king, that he might become the king's son-in-law. Then Saul gave him to Michal, his daughter, as a wife, or Michal, I don't know, as a wife. Thus Saul saw and knew that the Lord was with David, and that Michal, Saul's daughter, loved him. And Saul was still more afraid of David. So Saul became David's enemy continually. Then the princes of the Philistines went out to war. And so it was, whenever they went out, that David behaved more wisely than all the servants of Saul, so that his name became highly esteemed. 1 Samuel 19, Saul persecutes David. Now Saul spoke to Jonathan his son and to all his servants that they should kill David. But Jonathan, Saul's son, delighted greatly in David. So Jonathan told David, saying, my father Saul seeks to kill you. Therefore, please be on your guard until morning, and stay in a secret place and hide. And I will go out and stand beside my father in the field where you are, and I will speak with my father about you. Then what I observe, I will tell you. Thus Jonathan spoke well of David to Saul his father, and said to him, let not the king sin against his servant, against David, because he has not sinned against you, and because his works have been very good toward you. For he took his life in his hands and killed the Philistine. And the Lord brought about a great deliverance for all Israel. You saw it and rejoiced. Why then will you sin against innocent blood to kill David without a cause? So Saul heeded the voice of Jonathan, and Saul swore, as the Lord lives, he shall not be killed. Then Jonathan called David, and Jonathan told him all these things. So Jonathan brought David to Saul, and he was in his presence as in times past. And there was war again. And David went out and fought with the Philistines and struck them with a mighty blow, and they fled from him. Now the distressing spirit from the Lord came upon Saul as he sat in the house with his spear in his hand, and David was playing music with his hand. Then Saul sought to pin David to the wall with the spear, but he slipped away from Saul's presence, and he drove the spear into the wall. So David fled and escaped that night. Saul also sent messengers to David's house to watch him and to kill him in the morning. Dang. And Michal, David's wife, told him, saying, if you do not save your life tonight, tomorrow you will be killed. So Michal let David down through a window, and he went and fled and escaped. And Michal took an image and laid it in the bed, put a cover over goat's hair for his head, and covered it with clothes. So she made it look like he was on the bed, like put stuffing in the bed. So when Saul sent messengers to take David, she said, he is sick. I made it seem like he was sick. You know how you act like you're in a bed and you just put pillows and stuff, junk under the covers and make it look like somebody's there. That's what David's wife
I'm
did.
just lost in my world, and I'm sorry.
You're supposed to pay attention to what we're reading here, woman.
No, but I'm just bored right now.
I'm reading a story.
I'm not interested in a story right now. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys. There are times when you're not interested in stories. There are times, and Mom's just giving me the stink eye.
So what had happened was David's father-in-law wants to kill him. So his wife let him go out the window. He snuck away, and then the wife shoved things under the bed pillow, the covers, and made it look like there was David was under there. And she's like, "Oh, he's sick. He's in here," but he really took off. She let him escape. Bring him to the okay. So Saul sent messengers. He is sick. Then Saul sent the messengers back to see David, saying, "Bring him up to me in the bed, that I may kill him." And when the messengers had come in, there was the image in the bed with a cover of goat's hair for his head. He should put goat's hair, make it look like his head popping out. Then Saul said to Michal, "My child, why have you deceived me like this and sent my enemy away so that he has escaped?" And Michal answered Saul, He said to me, "Let me go. Why should I kill you?" So David fled and escaped and went to Samuel at Ramah and told him all that Saul had done to him. And he and Samuel went and stayed in Naioth. Now, Naioth. 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 Now what the heck? Now it was told Saul, saying, "Take note, David is at Naioth in Ramah." Then Saul sent messengers to take David, and when they saw the group of prophets prophesying and Samuel standing as leader over them, the Spirit of God came upon the messengers of Saul, and they also prophesied. And when Saul was told, he sent other messengers, and they prophesied likewise. Then Saul sent messengers again, and the third time, and they prophesied also. He keeps trying to send people to kill David, but they're not doing it. Then he also went to Ramah and came to the great well that is at Sechu.
Also, they're bad at their job.
God's not letting them kill David. Okay, so he asked and said, "Where are Samuel and David?" And someone said, "Indeed, they are at Naioth in Ramah." So he went there to Naioth in Ramah. Then the Spirit of God was upon him also, and he went on and prophesied until he came to Naioth in Ramah. And he also stripped off his clothes and prophesied before Samuel in like manner. And lay down naked all that day. Lay down naked all that day and all that night. Therefore they say, "Is Saul also among the prophets?" Okay, that's it. Now we got to do Acts 19.
Every time I think of the word naked, it's making me think of the annoying orange video when he was reading the Emperor's New Clothes.
Mm-hmm.
And when he said, so he was just walking around naked.
Because of freak.
It's so funny.
Acts 19, 21-40. That's the end. What? They want me to read Acts 19, verses 21-40. There's 41 verses. They just wanted me to leave that last one hanging out there.
Why?
And then tomorrow it's Acts 20, verses 1-16. So we're skipping Acts 19, verse 41. Is that what's happening?
I think so.
That's a typo. It's supposed to be a 1, not a 0. It's supposed to be Acts 19 verses 20-41, not 40. Why does it say amplified? Okay. Acts 19:21. Okay. The riot at Ephesus. When these things were accomplished, Paul purposed.
Raising hand. Are you going to read 41?
Yes.
Okay, good.
In the Spirit, when he had passed through Macedonia and Achaia, to go to Jerusalem, saying, "After I have been there, I must also see Rome." I want to go to Rome. So he sent into Macedonia 2 of those who ministered to him, Timothy and Erastus. They harassed us. But he himself stayed in Asia for a time. And about that time there arose a great commotion about the way, for a certain man named Demetrius, like
Demetrius.
Balky's little sheep on Perfect Strangers. Oh no, it's Dimitri. Dimitri, remember? His little-
I remember the name. It sounds like before Demetrius. Something was in my throat.
For a certain man named Demetrius, a silversmith, who made silver shrines of Diana. Oh, isn't she that evil thing? Diana, whatever, it's the evil, I don't know. Brought no small profit to the craftsmen. He called them together with the workers of similar occupation and said, "Men, you know that we have our prosperity by this trade. Moreover, you see and hear that not only at Ephesus, but throughout almost all Asia, this Paul has persuaded and turned away many people, saying that they are not gods which are made with hands. So not only is this trade of ours in danger of falling into disrepute, but also the temple of the great goddess Diana," that's evil, "may be despised and her magnificence destroyed, whom all Asia and the world worship." Now, when they heard this, they were full of wrath and cried out, saying, "Great is Diana of the Ephesians." So the whole city was filled with confusion and rushed into the theater with one accord, having seized Gaius and Aristarchus, Macedonians, Paul's travel companions. And when Paul wanted to go into the people, the disciplines, would not allow him. Then some of the officials of Asia, who were his friends, sent to him, pleading that he would not venture into the theater. Some therefore cried one thing and some another, for the assembly was confused, and most of them did not know why they had come together. And they drew Alexander out of the multitude, and the Jews putting him forward. And Alexander motioned with his hand and wanted to make his defense to the people. But when they found out that he was a Jew, all with one voice cried out for about 2 hours, "Great is Diana of the Ephesians." And when the city clerk had quieted the crowd, he said, "Men of Ephesus, what man is there who does not know that the city of the Ephesians is temple guardian of the great goddess Diana and of the image which fell down from Zeus? Therefore, since these things cannot be denied, you ought to be quiet and do nothing rashly."
Wait, Zeus?
He's another weird god thing. I don't know.
Oh
"For
my
you
gosh.
have brought these men here who are neither robbers of temples, nor blasphemers of your goddess. Therefore, if Demetrius and his fellow craftsmen have a case against anyone, the courts are open and there are proconsuls. Let them bring charges against one another. But if you have any other inquiry to make, it shall be determined in a lawful assembly. For we are in danger of being called in question for today's uproar, there being no reason which we may give to account for this disorderly gathering." And when he had said these things, he dismissed the assembly. Is Zena snoring?
Yes. Oh my gosh, I woke up.
Psalm
Sorry,
54.
Zena.
Psalm 54.
I'm getting tired of myself. I'm like, what was that noise?
Psalm 54. Ugh. 54. Answered prayer for deliverance from adversaries. To the chief musician with stringed instruments, a contemplation of David when the Ziphites went and said to Saul, "Is David not hiding with us? Save me, O God, by your name, and vindicate me by your strength. Hear my prayer, O God. Give ear to the words of my mouth. For strangers have risen up against me, and oppressors have sought after my life. They have not set God before them. Behold, God is my helper. The Lord is with those who uphold my life. He will repay my enemies for their evil. Cut them off in your truth. I will freely sacrifice to you. I will praise your name, O Lord, for it is good. For he has delivered me out of all trouble, and my eye has seen its desire upon my enemies." Okay, God bless. Good night.